Shh. Okay. Hey gems, it's me, Esmeralda, and today we're going to be looking at how I create my soil mixture. So I've had a couple of my friends ask me what soil I use, and I use a couple of different things in my soil for a couple of reasons. So the main soil that I use is going to be black gold potting mix, and this is my cactus mix, and then I have their all-purpose mix, and I'll link these down below where to get them. I usually get mine from my local Ace Hardware, but you can get them on Amazon, or just if you go on their website, they will actually have where you can get it from local. So yeah, these are the two main ingredients that I use, are the black gold, and I used to use Miracle-Gro, but me personally, in my region, I had trouble with like nets in the summertime, and for some reason it just held on to too much moisture for me. But you know, whatever works for you works for you. I'm not bashing them, but this, since I started using this I've actually seen great results from my plants. They have worm castings in them, and that's just a natural fertilizer, so it's worm poop. So this helps my plants grow and thrive. And so yeah, so this is the main part that I use, is my all-purpose soil and then my cactus soil. So depending on what plant it is, it depends on which one I will use as my base. Also, aside from my main potting soil, I add orchid bark, Miracle-Gro, and Miracle-Gro perlite, and these are just tools to help with drainage. So if you have a heavy watering hand, will depend on how light or heavy that you water, depends on how much you want to add into your soil. Some soil like my black and gold already come with some perlite and some orchid bark, but I just like to add more because I am a heavy waterer. I've killed many plants in my day from watering too much, but this just helps me, and it helps with drainage also, and it also helps the plants with aeration. And so what aeration means is it just helps create air pockets for your roots. Even though they are in the soil, they still need some type of air. So that is what this is for, and it helps with that. So yeah, so I have my 3 ingredients. Depending on the type of plant that I'm potting, will depend on which one that I use. For my all-purpose, I usually use that for like my pothos, my philodendron. I also use it for my Chinese evergreens. I use it for my prayer plants, but for my succulents and my succulent type plants like peperomia, Hoya, and like my snake plants, I'll use this. And when I use my cactus mix, I'll use a little bit less orchid bark, and that is because it comes with a pretty chunky mixture already. You can see there are some wood chunks in there already, and this is my cactus mix. So I'll just add some perlite, so you don't really see perlite in this. And you can also use pumice. I've heard good things about that, and I'm also going to try that probably when I start repotting my plants. So right now I'm not really repotting too much. So yeah, let's just get into the mixture. So what I like to use is an airtight container. I usually use a Ziploc bag, but so you can see it a little bit better as I'm mixing it and I can hold it, I'll use this airtight container. You can use a glass container, a plastic container, just anything that's going to hold the media that you're using. And then I just use a grow pot to scoop it with, you know, nothing fancy. So what I like to do is 2 parts of soil. So here you'll see 2 parts soil, 1 part orchid bark, and then we're going to do 1 part perlite. And I may add more perlite depending on the plant that you have, because a lot of my plants are plants that are apophytes, and what that means is they grow on top of like trees, or like they climb up things. So things that are climbers, like my pothos and my micans, they are climbing plants. So what that means is they don't need a lot of like soil, because they're used to growing on like tree barks and things like that. So that's what that orchid bark creates or stimulates, is just something like that in an environment like that. And so I just mix it with my hand. You can mix it with a spoon, or you can wear gloves if you are not someone who likes to touch dirt. But yeah, I just mix it with my hand. And then here, oh, I need to mix it just a little bit more. So I just mix it until it's even all around. So here, I'll show you like a scoop. So this is a scoop of the all-purpose soil before I added my mixture, and this is what it looks like afterwards. So here you'll see that you have a lot more white and coarse mix. You can just tell the difference, and it just creates for my plants a healthier start. If I were to mix for my cactus soil, what I would, oh, that's the wrong one. If I were to mix my cactus soil, what I would do is use 2 parts cactus soil and 2 parts perlite, because of my succulents and my Hoyas and things like that. They don't like to stay moist for very long or wet, so you want to make sure that the water is draining all the way through, and that just helps me when I water. So I would do equal parts of cactus mix and equal parts of perlite, and then depending on the plant, because Hoyas do like an orchidy mix, I will add a little bit more orchid bark, maybe 1 part orchid bark. So yeah, that's how I mix my soil, and then I just pot it up. I usually put like an inch or so at the bottom, put my plant in, and then kind of add into it until my pot is full. I don't have to repot anything right now, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like and what I use. Let me know what you guys use for yours. If you have any experience with pumice, I'd love to hear it, because I'm thinking about switching to pumice. Just because perlite tends to rise, but once like after so often, the perlite will rise. I don't think I've had too much of an issue with my plants. I think you can see it a little bit here on my Photonia. You'll see a lot of perlite up here, and usually it's a little bit more mixed together, like how this looks. So when you're watering it, it does tend to rise over time, but that's just one of the cons. You can always just, what I like to do is get a chopstick and kind of stick it in there to help mix it back in. So yeah, that's one of the cons of perlite, but it's also a really great tool for plants, and so you don't overwater like I used to do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, what you guys use. Again, if you have experience with pumice, let me know, and I hope you guys liked it. Thank you.